Well, as I told my team, I think they're coming, but um, I wasn't happy with how we played totally. I think we had moments, a couple guys had really good moments. Two that I got coming in now. Book had a couple of moments one way, and yet he was sick the last 2 days. And Jace, for a freshman, I thought played pretty well, did some good things. But when you're rotating guys like we were, and if I was to be honest with you, I'm trying to coach my team, and I'm doing stuff on TV, and I'm doing stuff in between sessions, and that was a little taxing on me. It was good, though. I mean, I'm glad I did it. Our little cancer person was unbelievable, and that was one of the highlights of my day to watch her ring that bell. But we didn't play very well. I had a couple guys, especially our guards, that didn't play as well. And yet, I like his team. I think he's a damn good coach. They cut as hard as anybody we play. And when you do that, some things happen. So I think they're going to be better. I think we'll get a lot better. This is really early. I mean, usually we're playing our first exhibition game in about a week and a half from now. But because of the open date here, because of the open date with us, so our media could drive 7-8 hours up here. By the way, thank you guys. Because we didn't have a football game this weekend. It worked out to be the right weekend. But all in all, it really was about, I guess, a homecoming. I didn't want a homecoming about me. I wanted a homecoming for all the people that helped me get to where I got. And that means all the people, the great people in these communities, the former players, Mooch and Mike Garland. And it was a special time for me. And so I can't be too critical of my team because I kind of took away from some of it. And so I'll blame me for a little bit of how we played. I'll give Northern credit for how they played. And I'll give my players a little blame that we didn't do enough things that we need to do to be successful. But there were moments, there were stretches, and that's what we're going to build on. So I guess you have the players to ask a question. This is like the Final Four, so you get them first, and then I'm last. Is that right?
Questions for players. We got mics to pass around, so you have this.
I'm wondering how it's been for you guys to kind of live the experience that Coach had here, see some of the places that he's been to, and kind of what it's been seeing him go through this.
I mean, this whole weekend it's been great being up here in the UP, just kind of experiencing what Coach went through growing up and kind of going back to the school and seeing all the gyms and seeing all the restaurants that he used to go to and seeing places where he used to live. It's all been great. And, I mean, just seeing Coach been smiling and stuff just kind of brings out that kid side of him. So just seeing all this stuff and experience all of it, it's been a great experience. The whole community, it's been great talking to them and meeting everybody. So it's been a great experience.
You're up, Jace. That was damn good.
Yeah, it was. It's hard to follow that up.
Yeah, man.
I think Xavier kind of summed it up. Just seeing Coach come back and the smile on his face as soon as we got here. I mean, I think that was the best moment for us, seeing Coach so happy to see people he's grown up with, seeing the school, seeing his jersey getting retired. I mean, it's been such a cool experience for us to come back and see it.
Jace, talk about your time here. Obviously, your dad played at Michigan State under Coach Izzo. Is it as scary as maybe he thought it was? Is it as good as you thought it was? I guess talk about your experiences so far.
Well, so far, I mean, it's been great being here with Coach Izzo and my team. I feel like we have a really solid team. I mean, today we didn't execute on a lot of things, but it's still really early in the season. But I definitely think that we have a really good team, and I've been enjoying my experience so far.
Memory-making moments has been the 3 words that we've heard Izzo say for the past couple of weeks. Are there any memories that he has shared with you guys that have really stuck out in your brains while y'all have been up here? Like maybe a funny story?
What you got? I would probably say when when we went back to his old neighborhood and saw the old house he used to live in with his college money. So it's definitely the cool experience to see that. It was definitely a funny experience to hear about that.
Yeah, I would definitely say the same. Going back over there and seeing all the homes over there, it was pretty cool to see.
Buck, you wouldn't have fit in. They were like 6'4" ceilings.
Yeah.
You would have been. Your head would have been out the top of that thing.
Yeah, for sure.
Xavier, can you just talk a little bit about a year ago at this point, everything's new. You're trying to figure out what your role is, if you're going to have a role. It's sort of wide-eyed, and I'm wondering, coming into this season, you're starting, you're going to play a more substantial role. You understand what it takes physically to compete. I'm wondering your mindset, even coming into games like this and coming into the season, how it's different and what you're feeling right now.
This off season and from last year up until this point now, I put in a lot of work, gotten stronger, put on a lot of weight. So kind of this last season, experiencing it, just kind of getting a feel for college basketball has definitely helped. And then this past summer, going to Spain and just working all summer, it's definitely helped. And kind of just my mindset going into this season is just taking care of what I need to take care of in terms of defense, rebounding. Teams are going to need me to score, so make shots, just do everything for the team. So.
Mark with UP Sports Talk. I got a question for any of the three of you. What was it like to play in the Dome? Obviously, you two have probably played in a Dome before. For the Northern kids, they don't usually do this. What was the experience like, atmosphere-wise, shooting the basketball, et cetera, playing in a Dome?
It was a great experience. I've never seen anything like this before. Dome, it was huge. The lights were bright. There was a lot of fans all over the place. So it was great. It was great feeling playing out in front of everybody. So.
Yeah, I'd definitely say it had like a mini Final Four feel to it, 100%. Just seeing all the lights, all the people that came out to support us, the Northern Michigan, and Coach Izzo. So it was definitely a great experience to see that.
For both you guys, the coach had mentioned going into the off season that one of the things he wanted to do was get to the line more, and you guys managed to do that today. You try. Is that how much of a concerted effort are you guys trying to make right now to not just get to contact but finish through contact and all the things that you were able to do today?
Coach harps on it a lot, but he tells me a lot. He wants me to get to the line more, and eventually when we do get to the line, we got to make our free throws. We spend a lot of time in practice working on free throws. The most important part is obviously getting to the line, but also another important part is making the free throws when you do get to the line. So.
Yeah, I definitely feel like for the guards, there's some times where the ball's just not going in from the perimeter, so we got to find easier ways to get shots up. So definitely getting to the line definitely helps that confidence, and just seeing that ball go through kind of gets our offense going. So definitely getting to the line is a huge part this year.
Coach, you talked a lot last night about hard work being instilled in you when you were growing up here in the UP. Just how did your upbringing in Iron Mountain and your college years in Marquette prepare you for, when you made the jump to Michigan State? And what did it mean having your kids here this weekend to experience all of this, knowing that, they've never lived here in the UP?
Yeah, well, before I answer that, I'm going to let these two go because at the Final Four, they don't make them answer 5 or 6 questions right now. You guys did good, so get the hell out of here now. I'll answer the rest of them. There are so many people, there's a proverb that it takes a village to raise a child. And I think that's very true. And I had so many people that helped raise me, mentor me. That's what sometimes frustrates me with this day and age is, I was mentored by so many different people. I had 4 of my high school football and basketball coaches here. I had my old AD here. There's just a lot of people, my mother, I was sad my father couldn't be here, but I think of how many people helped me to understand what it takes to be successful, and I think the grind is all part of it, One thing I told my players, I hate entitlement. I despise entitlement. And I said, you aren't going to find many entitled people up where I'm from. and I'm damn proud of that. I really am. You know, if you earn it, you get it. But entitlement means you haven't earned it yet, and you expect it. And there's a process and a journey to be successful in whatever we do, you, me, everybody else. And it's getting a little lost right now. But I'm vowing to bring it back. So we'll see. And this trip meant a lot to me, the people they met, the things they saw, what they got to do. Players were great, by the way, you know, in fairness to them. It's hard to do what they did, then have to play in a game, and me being in and out, you know. I'm not an excuse maker for them. I already took care of that with them. But I also apologize to them because I couldn't do all the things I needed to do in the last 2 days. But it was worth every bit of it. And it wasn't a one-dimensional trip. It was a 3 or 4-dimensional trip, and we got a lot of them covered.
Tom, I'm wondering, with Trey, where do you sort of foresee him do you foresee him as your primary backup one? We saw him obviously go on and off the ball.
No, there's no right now, you know, relax, because there's no primary anything right now. I had a starting group out there tonight that started the game. I changed one of them at halftime. Trey Holloman had been playing maybe as good as anybody most of the summer, struggled a little bit in Europe and then coming back. Jackson Kohler's probably played as well as anybody. You know, I'm also trying to look at who can I have off the bench. You know, we're the school that brought Morris Peterson off the bench. He played more minutes than anybody and became an All-American and a pro as the sixth man, you know, and we need some scoring coming off. Jackson and Trey bring that. But Trey, I thought, played really well today. And so, you know, we'll make those decisions. As they say, only to some of you does it matter who starts. It really matters who finishes. My best example of that is when Draymond was a freshman, and he hardly played the first half of the year. In the second half, he started playing a little more, and then at the end of every game, he was like playing 8 of the last 12 minutes. And so that's what we're looking for yet. But I'm going to say this publicly. I'm not determining the starting lineup. They are. They are. And it'll be factual. In other words, through stats, through winning, through the things they got to do. So I got a lot of good players. I got a lot of depth. Somebody's got to step up, you know, and I think they will. Jaden struggled today, but I think sometimes he puts too much pressure on himself. He's an unbelievable student, unbelievable kid, and now he's got to become an unbelievable player because it's his time and his turn. And I do think that we need that. So that would help a lot. Oh, definitely. Yeah, I'm sorry. I thought you meant about starting. Yeah, Trey's going to play 1-2. Trey's going to play 2-1. Trey is one of my better shooters, so he's going to play both positions. Trey and Jeremy will definitely play together some, you know. So, yeah.
Tom, I grew up in the Iron Mountain, Kingsford area.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I grew up in the Iron Mountain, Kingsford area, knowing.
God bless you, and you wore the right colors because you got gold and black on, so you weren't a flivver. So go on.
Sorry, flivver born and raised.
Jeez.
Anywho, I grew up.
One of those days. Go ahead.
I grew up knowing the legacy that you left in Iron Mountain. How do you feel that the legacy now, because of the impact that you've had in the town, how do you feel like that legacy is still standing now that your jersey has been retired here at Northern? Do you feel like the impact that you made in my hometown and yours, do you feel like that still is standing? And do you feel like that's going strong every single day?
No, I don't think it's going strong every single day, and I don't think, getting my jersey retired. Most people do that when they score 20 a game and win national championships, and this is, I don't think just a gift, but I think it was a different kind of jersey retirement. My buddy Mariucci has accomplished a lot more things individually and team-wise than I did. I think they looked at my entire book, not just a chapter or two. And but there's a lot of guys more deserving of it than I am, and I don't say that humbly, I say that honestly. But, you know, I can't have the impact in Iron Mountain. I'm not there enough, you know. I'm not here enough. So that's why these things are important to me. They're important to Steve. That's why we come back up here with the home he's developed, and I've raised money and given money to it, because it's always great when you have a sense of purpose to go back to where you're from. And, you know, our little girl with cancer today, watching her ring that bell was, I mean, that was just the greatest, you know. And I said to my team in my locker room, I'm worried about you playing hard. And you're fighting to be a good player. She's fighting for her life. You know, we lose perspective of things this day and age, I think, too much. And so I've earned some things. I have, but not as many things as I've been given. And my earning is not done yet. Still got a lot of things I want to accomplish, both from my sport, both from my university, both from my alma mater, and definitely from my hometown, which, I mean, they were my first 18 years of life, you know. Those old coaches were phenomenal. My parents were phenomenal. I was lucky. So I'm still working at it, but I'm, you know, somebody asked me, you know, did you do this year because you're going to retire? Hell no. It has nothing to do with that. It's just the timing worked out, and Rick Comley did a great job with his group of figuring out a way to get that dome to work. And I heard a couple days ago it was pretty tough sledding because they couldn't get the turf up, you know. And I don't know what happened, but they did. And I mean, did you enjoy the setting? Forget the game. Did you enjoy seeing people come together like they did? I mean, it was a happening, you know. And now what do we do with it? Now what do we do with it? Do we take it and run? Do we build on it? Or do we just let it go as a one-time happening? And that's why I tried to encourage the crowd, make this a happening that lasts. We'll see if it does.
Tom, yesterday we spoke, and you said even then that you knew how much this was going to mean to the people up here in the Upper Peninsula, but did it meet your expectations? And when you saw, I don't know if you saw the line wrapping around the Superior Dome. I've never seen anything like that up there at the Superior Dome, but did you see that? And then did this meet the expectations that you had for the people and for the crowd, et cetera?
Yeah. No, it really didn't meet them. It 10 times superseded them, you know. When I saw people standing up there, I was just looking. You probably wondered what the hell I was doing. I was just saying to myself, God, if my dad could see this, or God, if Glenn Brown could see this, or, you know, Buck Nystrom, the guys that helped me when I was here. And I thought how lucky I am that I'm in a position to have a chance to do something like this. Because if there were 11, 12,000 people there and everybody didn't have a good time, because it really wasn't about the game this time. You know, now I have to go analyze the film, and then it'll be about the game. But right now, it was about bringing a bunch of people together and being able to say thank you for helping mold me. You know, everybody thinks you can do things on your own. That's what's wrong. We're a very selfish society right now. So I'm not good for it. You notice I don't have any phone advertisements in my back because I hate these things. You know, I think they create problems of keeping you siloed. And but I guess it's the people, not the phone, that do it. And today, you know, I asked my players when we went to dinner the other night at the Beacon House, I said, leave your phones in your pocket. You know, enjoy the moment. Don't be looking back on what's going on back home or anything. So it superseded anything. Did it supersede yours? Did anybody in here think you could get this done? I didn't. That's why you media guys, you ask questions, you don't answer them. I ask a question, and this is what I get. I didn't think it could, but I was really impressed, and I know how hard some of our people, we had people that came up here 3 times to help because there's not as much money, there's not as much opportunity here. to have the people to be able to do something like this, just put out the towels is an incredible effort. And if there was a little thing, as you notice, I've named it 3 times. I'm going to get Mike over at the Pittsburgh Steelers to come over here and coach our Yoopers on how to wave a damn towel. You know what I mean? Most of you must have blown their nose or sat on them. I don't know what they did, but we put out 12,000. There weren't as many going crazy as I thought there would be, right? Huh? The hell with the rain. It never used to bother Yoopers to have rain, snow. I mean, what are we doing? We getting soft up here or what? Next question.
Tom, I want to ask you about Xavier a little bit, and just sort of, I mean, last year, obviously, within the season, you saw leaps and bounds from him. I'm wondering what your hopes are for him this year and what you see from him right now.
Well, he had a really good week, and didn't play as well today, but he was sick. He was sick yesterday at practice, and I didn't even know if he could go today. And so I think a little bit of that, but you saw him not being as aggressive like he's been. He's been very aggressive in practice, and then he made a couple of moves. That one driving move was a really aggressive move. He hit some shots. Yeah, Xavier has got to play good for us to win too, but I think he's going to play good. I'm, you know, him and Jackson. I mean, we're really strong in that position, and Jackson can play both positions. So, Book is. You know, he's going to keep working on his defense, which will always be the case, but he's made a lot of progress. He's 22 pounds heavier. He's a lot stronger than he was. And now it's taking the mental approach of being more physical. You know, I don't know how many in this room have ever done it, but sometimes when you're heavy and you lose a lot of weight, or sometimes when you're skinny and you gain a lot of weight, you have to learn how to play with your new weight. Like I used to tell Draymond, no, Draymond, you're 30 pounds lighter. It's okay to dunk now. Go ahead and dunk, you know. But he wasn't used to doing that. And Book isn't used to some things to be 22, 23 pounds heavier. So we're constantly remind him, no, you can do this now. You're just in better shape. You're better. And so I think he'll get better.
Do you see him and Jackson together at all?
Could, yeah. We did that a little bit over in Europe. You know, especially if teams aren't real big, because then we got scoring at every position. So I do see that happening some. I see them playing together some.
Coach, you started with group rotations, like you said you were going to. Was there a specific group that you liked? And are these groups that you use in practice, or were you just experimenting when you go out there too?
Well, I was experimenting. What I wanted to do is make sure I got everybody in, you know, the first 10 minutes, and but I don't think that's the way I'll do it. Now, Kentucky did 1 year, and I don't see that happening, but I just wanted to make sure I got some people that have played together, and then we're going to go on who plays with the most effort. And you know, I don't mind missed shots. I mind miss rebound opportunities or miss running of the break, or the effort-related stats is what I'm going to judge this team on, and then I'm going to pick and choose accordingly.
You kind of touched on a lot of this, but I'm wondering how this event and just everything with the last couple days maybe measures up to some of the other bigger events in terms of your demands, in terms of, I guess, maybe what those experiences were like compared to this one.
Yeah, you know, we took our team to the game, the Tiger game, and we were lucky. Academically, we could do that. And the guys had, you know, it wasn't a great time just to be at the game and see the crowd, but we were watching a team that came from nowhere and became somebody. And just the energy in the crowd and making those players realize how important. I mean, we talked about that in this NIL stage where I think it's the Houston, what's the Astros. They got the kid Hader, who's getting paid $19 million a year. The entire roster for the Tigers is being paid $18.8 million. And you know, money doesn't win for you. Better players doesn't necessarily win for you. Players who play better wins for you. And so there's been a lot of good lessons learned. There's been a lot of camaraderie. I think our guys are appreciative of what they're getting. And this is part of my retention program. You know, I want players to know we're going to try to do a lot of things for them and have some fun together. So it's been a little more taxing on me.
I meant, like, coming up here, like, compared to, like, a Final Four, because you're in demand in a lot of different places. Like, when you go there, it seemed like 3/4 of the UP was here shaking your hand the last 2 days.
I know, it was awesome, wasn't it? I'm very appreciative of that, but that was taxing. It's different, you know. I don't go out much, and I went out one night just to meet some people, and but what a privilege, you know. I mean, you know, like I felt I was going to do this thing, and you know, it could bomb, you know, and there'd be 4,000 or 5,000 people in this big arena, and there'd be nobody there, and I had a few sleepless nights over that. And boy, little did I know that we weren't just Spartan strong and Wildcat strong. We were UP strong, and that was touching, to say the least.
Speaking of UP strong, loyalty and hard work, Tom, Coach Izzo, are 2 words that describe Upers. Again, loyalty and hard work. I would like to thank you, and I think all of us would, for the fact that you stayed at Michigan State. I know that NBA is a very illustrious NBA. There's a lot of money. There's a lot of fame that goes with it. But your UP roots, I believe, and what you learned is why you're still a Michigan State Spartan leader.
Well, you're right. You know, I had a chance to go to more than a few NBA teams and a couple other really good college teams, and yet Michigan State's been good to me, you know. And my old boss, Judd Heathcote, used to say a good deal is when it's a good deal for you and a good deal for me. I do think I've been a good deal for Michigan State. That's an arrogant statement, but I do, because I've been there. I care about it. My family, I got married there. I raised my kids there. I have ownership in Michigan State. So, you know, that was one of the reasons. But the biggest reason is they've been good to me, too. You know, I remember it was year 2, and 4 or 5 games in, I thought I was getting fired. You know, the president of the board came up to me and said, "Don't worry about this, this, and this." And I had a meeting with my staff and all the people, and after that we went, you know, like 18-4 and started the ball rolling. You know, won the Big Ten championship, and it seems like we've won a few since. So it's just been one of those things, and every day I work on making sure I'm not complacent, because I think if you stay somewhere too long, you can get complacent. And so I don't think that's going to happen to me. And you know, if you want to know when I'm going to be done, when they get rid of me, or I just wake up and say I'm done. There'll be no farewell tours. There'll be no this or that. The day that I cheat them out of 1 cent that they pay me, or any time that I should be giving to them, I will be done. And if I'm not, write it. You know, that ain't going to happen. I'm not saying how good we're going to be in the years to come. There's so many factors now with this crazy conference and these crazy rules. But all I can do is the same thing I tell a player. What effort do I give? How hard do I work? And that'll take care of itself.
Yeah, just getting back to some basketball stuff. You want a lot of ruggedness out of the 5 position. I think Zabala led you with about 9 rebounds today. How's he coming along and doing some of those efforts?
You know, he's been good, and you know, Coop's been pretty good. Jax has been real good. He had 8 rebounds? I don't know. He had 8, and Zabala had 9. Is that what I heard? Got to use glasses now, guys. Times have changed. But when you look at that, what I need is more rebounds out of Book. Maybe the disappointing one, I thought he played pretty good, was Cohen Carr. He did some things, but I need more rebounding out of him. And physicality is what he has, what he brings to the table. So, you know, all in all, Jim, it's still a couple weeks early. I got to keep that in mind. I got to keep in mind the distractions of the weekend. And I love my guys, love my team. I didn't think we played as well as we can play in some effort-related things. If the film shows that, I'm going to address it. If it doesn't, I'm going to apologize to them and move forward.
They were able to get a few open three-pointers, and I think you guys were pressing out on defense a little bit more after that. So there were some adjustments going on. You challenged your guys to get out more on that.
Yeah, and it got
Were you
better.
disappointed in their
You know, another thing that got better, we missed 5 layups in the first half. You know, so their 10, 11-point game is 21, you know. I harp on that every day. You know, we just did some things that nobody tries to miss a layup, but they're important. We did shoot pretty well from the line. I think we even got to the line a decent amount, 23 times in a game like that, make 18 of them. For almost 80% is pretty good. I didn't think we got enough shots off. And we didn't get enough shots off because we got 9 offensive rebounds, but that isn't enough against a team like Northern, because that's one thing. They are is a little smaller, which won't bother them as much in their league. But I will say this, he's going to compete for a league championship again. You watch. He's a good coach. His team plays hard. He's got a couple good additions. I'm not saying it to blow smoke. I like this team. I said in my huddles a couple times. I said it at halftime. I said at the end of the game. So I think Northern's back rolling. Hopefully hockey will get going, and women's basketball and volleyball. And I would like to put this challenge out to the writers from here and everybody else. Fans, we need to get football back, you know. Football was so good here when I was here. It was so much fun. And that isn't done by just a coach. It's not done by just an AD. It's done by everybody. I mean, we had 16,000 people here for Central Michigan. You know, we packed every weekend. It was fun. And when you get a bunch of people together, you have fun. I guarantee you, a lot of people had fun today. And it wasn't over a win. They had fun. They had fun because they got together and cheered on a team. And that was good. So all in all, guys, I want you to know that I really appreciate this. I appreciate you. I appreciate our guys coming from way downstate. You didn't have to do that. I appreciate that it was really fun for me. It was enjoyable for me. But I did get something out of it, you know. Did we handle distractions really well? Probably not. I have to reassess that I handle them very well. Probably not. But all in all, this was a good thing for college basketball. You know, Bill Raftery told me at the end, and Steve Shear, who produced it, they were getting calls from college coaches all over the country, you know, that you watch, some other people are going to try to do what we did. And some of that is in honor of Mark Hollis, who helped get me into a lot of things when he was AD, you know, the game at Ford Field, the game in Germany, the game on aircraft carriers, you know. We've done some crazy things, and those crazy things were memories that I'll have for the rest of my life. Today may top all of them, just the way it all worked out. So thank all of you that had something to do with it. Thank all of you for following it. Challenge our people up here. We got to get all of our sports going, and if you ever get downstate, love to see you, talk to you, and you guys drive carefully. Jed Heathcote would say, what is it, a 2-3 day ride back? You know, and we know it's not, but have a good trip back, and I'll talk to you guys when I get back to campus. Thanks.
There we go.
Feel good in the back? That was good. Boston, Jake, you good? Great rush on the boat.
It's hot. It's hot? Yeah, it's hot in there.
All right, we're going to pass around the mic to ask questions, so if anyone just wants to raise your hand, we'll get it going. Right back to you guys.
Matt, I guess just describe this experience not only for you, but the program, the city, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, it was one of those things that almost had a dreamlike quality to it. Like the whole weekend just was awesome. Everything, it checked every box, I think, of what we were hoping to pull off. And a Division II school hosting an event of this magnitude, I don't know how many could pull it off. And I think it's a testament to everybody here for all the work they put in, but also for Michigan State with helping us be able to pull this off at such a high level.
Matt, you mentioned post-game just being proud of your guys for the way they competed, especially in the second half. How did you see that in their first time, on the floor against an opponent this year?
Yeah, I thought, we held them to 9 offensive rebounds. I think that's good for a Big Ten team. I think it's really good for a GLIAC team playing them. The turnovers, we had 13, but gosh, I think we had 5 in the first 6 possessions. So after that initial kind of surge, we did a really nice job taking care of the ball. And I thought we might have had a couple minutes here and there where there was a slight let up, but we never quit. And when that got extended, we dug deep and found a different gear and really battled and competed. And we stuck to a lot of the parts of the formula to win the game. I thought the other part, which we can't control, is we needed to shoot kind of out of our minds and have an out-of-body shooting experience. And we needed them to go bad from 3, and they went 8 of 17. And if you would have told me they went 8 of 17 from 3 and 18 of 23 from the line, I would have thought it would have been more. So I'm really happy with how we played.
Julian, you're new to the team. I guess talk about your experience and how you're starting to fit in with this ball club.
Coach Matt has done a great job of making us gel with one another throughout practice and stuff, and I feel like that's been just easy on me just because like you said, I've came from a different university and everything, so I've been having to adjust like on the court with how they do things and stuff like that, but it's been easy because a lot of the guys helped me out throughout the process.
All right, Jackson, considering you scored almost half the points in the first half, how were you feeling it?
I was feeling awesome. Preparation breeds confidence, and our coach, he's always stressing to get in the gym, get extra shots up, and we got a team that, like Julian said, we're gelling together and we all love each other. So we're in the gym, getting extra shots up, pushing each other to the max, and it just felt good in the first half, and they got me the ball, and that's kind of how our offense works. We move it around and get the open shot. So.
Dylan, being one of the vets on this team, what was your mentality going into this game, with the stage and the team on the other side?
Just battle. Just see how we can come out, play together, and just battle every possession. Well, not even every possession. Coach mentioned in the pregame, just every pass, every dribble, just one thing at a time, just battle.
Wondering for you guys, any of you guys, you've gone through this weekend, and Matt said it was kind of like a dream sequence in a lot of ways. I'm wondering how it is to try and play against a team where the head coach is probably outside of this area or outside of your building, maybe your biggest champion. And also what it was like to kind of be around all those alumni that you guys had back for this.
I'm curious your guys' thoughts on this one.
You guys have been here, so.
Just to start as an absolute blessing, to see the opportunity, see the community come together, and to have that opportunity to play against such a prestigious, legendary coach and also a team. I speak for the guys when I say this. We're so thankful and appreciative. 4 years ago, when me and Dylan started here, I never would have thought we'd have this opportunity. And, we're sitting here and talking about it and reflecting on it. So I just think, like Coach said, it was a dream, and it's still kind of blowing my mind right now. So it was awesome.
Really shows how much not only Tom Izzo, but how much NMU basketball really means to the community to have this many people here to come watch this game. It just shows how much it means to all of us, how much it means to the community to see all of that come together.
I've been here for a short period of time, and it was just so surreal going out there and looking in the stands and seeing everybody out there. We had over 12,000 people there, so it was just surreal just to look out there and go out there and play.
I think the fun part for me was with all the alumni back and Coach Izzo, obviously, we had I felt some pressure, not pressure to win, but pressure to do it right and to do it in a way that would make Coach Izzo proud. And to be honest with you, I thought we were tough. I thought we were gritty. We had 8 offensive rebounds. They had 9. I mean, that says something, right? Like, I think we did a great job of putting forth an effort that would make Coach Izzo proud, and I think you nailed it. That is our champion. That's our guy. That's the North Star of what we want to be and what we want to do.
It's obviously barely mid-October, you know, and the college basketball calendar pretty early here. It's an exhibition game, but I'm wondering how much scouting went into this, and when you're defending them, like what you're trying to take away from them, what sort of the plan going in?
Yeah, I mean, we were trying to. The basketball is complicated in some ways and simple in some ways, and the simple part of basketball is if we can make them shoot, they could miss. If they dunk it, they can't miss. So we were trying to pack it in against them as best we could, and make them shoot contested threes again as best we could. And I give them a lot of credit. I mean, they 8 of 17 and hit some big ones early when I actually thought we had a pretty good job of contesting them. And I thought their big guys, especially some of those early contested threes, gave them some life, and it spread us out at times so they could get downhill. But yeah, we were trying to take away the pain as best we could. We knew we needed to send multiple bodies, and I thought we did a really good job, especially when it got in the post of digging and being active and not letting it be easy. And when we were active, I thought we did give them some problems at times.
2 more questions, Tom. Go ahead.
What did Coach Izzo say to you in the handshake line?
He just said, great job, and he said, you should be really proud of your guys, and, I thanked him. This meant so much to everyone, but I gotta say, like, on a personal level, I just wanted to not be too cool with it. Like, I wanted to, be a kid again, enjoy it, and I enjoyed the heck out of this weekend in a way where every one of those moments I was trying to soak it all in, and the only part that felt normal was I got to yell at a ref every now and then, so that was normal. Other than that, everything else was just such a surreal, special experience.
So I have a question for you, Matt. Because your first game of the actual season is against Missouri, how do you feel like your strategy will change because of what you've learned today compared to how you will be adapting to in the next few weeks?
Yeah, I think for us, this was the end of the preseason. Up until 2 years ago, Division II didn't start practice until October 15th. So we're going to take tomorrow off. We're going to come back Tuesday. That's October 15th. That'll be our first practice of the season. So if you look at this like a end of the preseason, I'd say we're in pretty good shape if this is the end of our preseason. And we only had 5 or 6 practices in. I really thought we were so much bigger and more athletic than Michigan State that we would be able to dominate them. But it turns out they must have grown once they got to the UP and had some of the UP water, because that turned out not to be true. And but no, we have a lot of time, and I feel really, really confident that if we keep doing what we're doing, this group's going to have a lot of success.
We're tight on time. Final question here.
Yeah, Matt, I'm wondering what you think this experience will mean for your team as you work toward the goals that you've set for the season.
Yeah, I think it'll mean a lot. I mean, back-to-back conference championships, we know we have a target on our shoulder. We've made 2 tournaments. We want to make a 3rd tournament. We want to win a 3rd conference title. I think once you taste that success, you desperately want it. And one of the things that we have going for us is Julian and the 3 other one-year guys, they came here for one reason and one reason only, and that was to win and to win a title. That was all we pitched to them in recruiting. We didn't talk about them getting shots. We didn't talk about playing time. We said, come here and you'll win a title if you do what we're asking. And I think leading off with this and having to play at this level of physicality and effort, and I think that should plant a really good seed that hopefully blossoms into a championship level season.
We're done.
Sweet.
Thanks, guys.
Awesome. Yep.